Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you guys are having a great day today. And with this new video series, I wanted to show off a game I had recently. And I'm basically just, with these videos, I'm going to be doing a free flow, like not scripted, on my thoughts about this game. This was a very hard one game, very high levels of play, with the like body blocking and flashlights, and they were looping pretty well. But we had a rough start, but we still managed to pull off the 4K. So I just wanted to show you guys maybe some tips and tricks on if you're struggling with killer, maybe you could watch this video and maybe pull something from it so you improve your gameplay. But as I said, this is just going to be a free flow of my thoughts while watching and going over this game. So hopefully you guys get something out of it. And without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so this right here is going to be the start of the game. First, I'm going to go to the farthest generator away. That's usually where the survivors are. And they weren't there, so I'm going down here and just patrolling generators, as you should at the beginning of the game. I'm going to clear this door because I want more free-flowing paths while I'm patrolling my generators. And as I'm walking around, just go back upstairs and just again patrolling generators as you should, looking for the survivors. And I notice here's Michaela. She trying to cleanse her smash pumpkin. I smack her. Turn around, I think that's David. But I ignore David in favor of Michaela because I want, get that down. So I'm chasing her, she's healing and waiting, very meta thing to do, heal in front of the pallet and hopefully slam it down when the killer comes. But so we begin this chase and she keeps running. I thought this was a shorter loop, but it's not. So I let her drop the pallet and I break it. And then I decided it's too much effort to get her, so I just break away from the chase. You always want to break away from the chase if you don't let them waste your time. Only spend about like 30 seconds or so. So I see this other survivor and I'm like, alright, well, I'll just go and get her. Again, I thought she was gonna at least drop the pallet quickly. She didn't. So I go to loop and go to get her. She doesn't drop the pallet. She knows what she's doing. I continue this chase. And again, I try to bait her into dropping the pallet, but she doesn't. So I cut my losses and I go to find somebody else. So I notice this blood trail. I end up in this chase with Michaela. Again, this could be another one. Nope, it's just one. Okay. So anyway, she drops the pallet. So I'm like, all right, that's a pallet. You always want to you need to get something out of the chase. A pallet, a hit, something. So we continue down here. And I'm just looking to see where she went. I don't see where she went. I do see that an indicator that somebody's probably healing over there. So I make my way over there. And I noticed somebody was here, but somehow she snuck out. I don't know how. I've tried to watch the replay. Maybe you guys can let me know. So I get into this chase. And I don't catch her, but I find another one. So I get a, free hit. Why not? So I continue this chase with her. And I'm looking around. I don't see her, so I think I just cut my losses here and say whatever, go back to stealth mode, go back to patrolling generators, break this door, make clear pathways between the generators so I don't have to go around the long way. And, discordance tells me 2 people are on this generator, so I see Michaela. I go to get a free smack on her, which I do get. She runs off. And I believe, yeah, okay, so we continue this chase. Very meta thing to do. Sit there and heal, and I break the pallet. She runs upstairs, and I go to continue my chase with her. And I'm able to get I thought I got a hit, but she must have been healing or something behind the corner, in her boon totem or something to get. She healed pretty quickly, anyways. So we continue this chase. I should have broke that pallet, but I didn't. Continuing this chase, she's able to drop down, and I follow her. I see her healing again, once again healing again in front of a pallet. Break this pallet. Continue on, and I notice 2 people are on the generator over there, so with discordance. So I go over there to scare them off the gen, and I see she's got 1 smack left, but she, gets that nice little pallet spacing drop, and I just cut my losses, and there's somebody else here, so I chase her off, and she doesn't get the flashlight. I'm able to hit her while blinded, so that's always a good skill to have. is just continue to walk forward and try to at least smack them once. Even if you're blinded, you might be surprised and you'll get a hit. So I continue back to the generator to kick it again to try to regress it. And luckily it had that perk that allows him to quickly break doors, kick gens, vault over stuff. So I think that really helped during this game. I see David, so scare him off this gen. I get a free hit. And David continues. He's got a nice little loop here that I think we continue around it a little bit, but I decide to cut my losses because it's just not worth it. And I'm wasting too much time because these guys are really kind of... Oh, I actually get the down. Never mind. So we get the down. And I proceed to go and I hook David on the closest hook. Alright, after this, as always, continue patrolling generators. I catch Michaela on a generator, so I uncloak and go to see if I can get her. Again, she drops the pallet. I try to circle around. I notice... Oh, no, I actually get that. Okay. So she didn't bother to heal herself. She got a little greedy and went to go do gens. So I was able to get that down. See, I get a flashlight. No, she doesn't blind me this time. There's I think in upcoming they do get one where I'm actually blinded. So I proceed to hook her, and I go see is what's her name still around. I see she runs upstairs, so I begin this chase with her. See, she stuns me here with the wraith. That's one of his weaknesses. So I just go back downstairs to check to see if anybody is going to unhook her, so maybe get a free hit. Nobody's there, so I continue on with patrolling generators. See, this is I do this a lot where I'll check because sometimes survivors get a little greedy and they won't get off the gen while you're uncloaked. So I go back to patrolling generators, always keeping an eye out on maybe if I catch a survivor. Somewhere I go check, see if anybody was trying to hook her. Nobody was. Discordance tells me there's two over there, so I break this door. And I scare them off. And I proceed to get into a chase. This is an unsafe pallet. Like what you see here, it's not safe. So I continue my chase with her. Whenever you see those, don't break them. Just leave them there. I know I come over here and I break it, but while rewatching this to see what I could do or improve, you should just leave those. They're not safe, and they'll do exactly what happened now, where you get a free hit. This one too, don't break that one. That's an unsafe pallet. So I catch them unhooking, and I proceed to let me see, I start chasing them. I'm able to get a free hit on her, so she doesn't quite nope, she does, because I did not. No, she pulls that down. That happens later in the game. So we continue this chase, and she's nope, she did not drop the pallet. Okay, so I come over here, try to get the smack. Usually that works. Not in good survivors, it doesn't. So I cut my losses, and catch Michaela over here working on a generator. So she drops that pallet, I break it, and I cut my losses and kick this gen to regress it. Drop downstairs to go check on some more gens. And nobody's there. See the sparks, so I just turn around and leave and go back to searching for other survivors. And yeah, just always be patrolling. You always want to keep patrolling, like, especially if you have a fast killer like Wraith. So I catch them healing. That's good to break them off that. Get a free hit on David. And he runs, and I'm like, alright, well, let's get David. So I continue to chase him, but I switch my target to her since she's already injured, and I was able to get her. And I believe this is where I get... Is this? No, maybe not. Okay. So I continue to proceed to go and put her on the hook. I think this is her first hook. So we're down 3 gens, and I'm really thinking, like, I really got to get somebody out of this game. So I can go back to patrolling gen. And with this... like, I know I'm repeating myself, but just you never know when you might need to kick the generators. I mean, if you see a survivor, go after them, but just kick generators. You never know when that's gonna help those precious few seconds, especially in a game like this. All right, I see David. I'm able to get him. And I proceed to hook him, I believe, and this will be his second hook. So I take him over here. And he's hooked. That's his second hook. So I go back to, maybe I think I go down and kick that generator she was working on. Yeah, I paused a little bit because I thought somebody was working on it. They weren't. And I go back to the other gen that they were working on. No, nobody was there, I believe. There's no sound, but I think it had fully regressed, so I just left it. I noticed, I saw an indicate, yep, the healing indication. See, she does a good thing. She body blocks. She does this quite frequently in this game, and it gets very annoying when you're trying to down a survivor and she's able to do that. David runs around this loop, and there's a pallet here, so he's able to stun me. And for some reason, I should have just broke it, but I didn't for some reason. And David continues. He does a smart thing. He waits, for me to, try to get him to pallet stun me. But, he gives up. That's a pretty good pallet, and I break it. Of course. And I notice in Discordance, again, 2 people are working on it. Very helpful perk to put on any killer. I run into David. Just some bad luck. And again, here, she body blocks me again to not get that. They might have been on a Swift. They could not have been. But it was just very good plays on her part. So I cut my losses with that. I go downstairs and I catch Michaela. And I get a whiff with that hit. So I proceed. I think I'm able to just get her smacked. Yep, I get that smack. And I cut my losses. She's injured since she got greedy. Well, she did the right thing. She just continued to work. She's about done. So I continued to chase her. And let me see. Are we able to get this? And I believe she dropped. Yep, she drops it. All right, so I get rid of that. Like I said, I got a pallet out of it. I cut my losses, and I go back to patrolling generators. And we head back over here. Again, we're just patrolling generators more. And I believe I hear somebody over here working. I don't. Okay, so, I kick that. They might have been on it, but they left. So I kick it and attempt to regress it some more. And again, patrolling. Always be patrolling. Like, if you're not doing anything, just patrol generators. That's where they're going to be. Nobody's here, so again, I just keep patrolling some more. And I catch, luckily catch them. Again, she body blocks again. At this point, I'm a little frustrated, so I'm like, I'm going to go after her. And I believe, I'm like, no, David's on his second hook, so we're going to go after him. But then I changed my mind for some reason, and I think it was mostly because I was, like, annoyed that she was body blocking, so it's like, I really want to get her on a hook. Here's where it's gonna hurt me, where I didn't break that pallet, so I proceed to break it. And I continue on. I notice she's over there, but I believe, I try to cut her off over here. And, yep, there's no pallets. She's kind of stuck now. They wasted them all over here, so I think we're able to get this hit. Oh, wow, she was fully healed, so I continue on with my chase with her. She drops down. And the Fang just gets unlucky. Her friend kind of hurt her this way, but we were able to get this hook. So I proceed to go back to Discordance lights up again, so I ignore her to go after the generator because we're at 2. We gotta get rid of them. So I notice I go back because I want to kick it, and then I wanted to check to see if anybody else was working on it. Nobody was, so recloak, go back to patrolling gens. I know scratch marks, so I follow them. Because I believe somebody might have ran back to the generator. She did. My hunch was right. I'm able to grab her off. Because she got a little greedy. And I proceed to... I put her on this hook over here. Because I want her away from that generator. I know it's not that far, but it was just my thinking during that time. So I go back. And I believe I go and I kick it some more. Yep, I do. To try and attempt to regress it. Again, who knows how many seconds I've, that really helped me out. So I, go back to patrolling generators. I don't see anybody there. So I go back to the other one. And I notice a healing. Like, I noticed they probably got her off their hook. So I'm like, alright, maybe I'll get some free hits. And I catch them on the generator. So I go over here to chase her some more, and I think I'm able to get her. This is her first down. So I was kind of happy about that. And so with this, I slugged her because she was the body blocker. So I've downed her so I can go and get David. Which, I'm down. Normally I don't slug, but I'm this far down. I've got to get somebody. Somebody has to... Oh, wait. Somebody was already out of this game? Oh, wow. I didn't even notice that. My bad. So, I continue on. And David got away, so I'm like, whatever. And I'm able to catch them here, like this. So, she does the smart thing, body blocks, lets her get away, and I continue to go after her. I regress this gen some more. And I'm just following the tracks, continuing on. I see her, so I uncloak to get a little bit more... I recloak to get more movement speed. There's a pallet here. She's gonna wait for me to uncloak, because that's, you know, she's just being smart. Healing, and I break this pallet. And we continue on. And she hops in there. I go around to cut her off, but I just was worried about the gen. I go to that, and she has some bad luck here. She hops out. I'm able to get this down. So she got a little bit too skittish. Maybe she thought I was playing mind game. Who knows? It worked out in my favor. So I pick her up, and I proceed to go put her on the hook. Over here. I think this will be her second hook. First hook. Maybe it's her first hook. I don't know. Yeah, it has to be her first hook. So I go off to patrol more generators. And I think I noticed... Nope, nobody was here. So I kick this just to regress it some more. And I believe... Yeah, I go back to see if anybody's gonna... I catch that, and I'm like, she's gonna pull her off. So I'm able to get it down here because they just didn't run. So I just try to focus her down because she's been the most annoying person in this game. And I don't know if she was trying to teabag or something, but it didn't help her at all and got her hooked again. So don't teabag. It's just a waste of time. And I proceed to put her on her second hook. And I go off to... Alright, that's regressing. I start wandering around looking for somebody else to go hit, or maybe, you know, I believe I'm going over here to regress a gen. Yep, somebody's working on it, so I kick that. And I go back because I believe somebody's going to unhook her so I can get a free hit. Which, that is what happens. Somebody was here. She doesn't even try, so I slug her. And I go and I try to get her, I believe. I'm able to get her. I go to pick her up, then I change my mind, and she gets mad and DCs right here. Yep. She gets upset, DCs. The game's not going in their favor. They had a strong start, and they let it slip out of their fingers. I mean, they played well, but I prioritized patrolling gens and slugging when I needed to, so she's out of the game. And with that, I noticed the scratch marks for David, and I believe I find... Yeah, I do. He's over here. David just gives up. Yeah, he knows it's coming. So I was very much, like, not in the giving mood. So I was like, no, I'm getting rid of everybody. There was a hard one game for me, so I'm able to get rid of them. And that is how we get the 4K. So, again, if you're down, just don't give up. Don't give up. Like, just start patrolling gens. And try to you're going to have to tunnel somebody out. Somebody's got to go. And it's nothing personal, just they've got to go. We're both trying to win here. So I was lucky I found that hatch too. But again, you know, just make your priorities, patrol gens. And, you know, just don't get flustered. Don't get flustered. Don't let them, with their tea bags and flashlights, don't let them get your emotions riled up. Just continue playing. And eventually, you will, like, run them down. Like, you'll get somebody out. And then you'll get another person out. And their confidence will start waning. Like, they will get overconfident. And once you start getting those hooks and those outs, that's when, you know, their confidence, like I said, their confidence will wane. And that will win you the game. So again, I hope you enjoyed watching this. I'm sorry this is my first time doing a free flow of my thoughts. But again, I hope you learned something. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Go follow my Twitch, subscribe to YouTube, and again, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it, guys.